And now it's my privilege to introduce a friend from the US, Professor Jeffrey Sachs, which are the United Nations Secretary General, our friend Antonio Guterres, Special Advisor on the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. And the last time we met in Stockholm and talked about the SDGs, you said that basically that's a social democratic agenda. And you are also the one leading the intellectual struggle and fight against Trump. So we very much welcome you as a friend from the United States, but with the core values of our family. Welcome, give him an applause.
Good morning. We need you on the other side of the Atlantic. So be sure you succeed. But I am bringing good news. We're winning on the other side also. It is a dangerous period. We have a sociopath in power. But people are beginning to understand what's happening. And you saw the Democrats had a decisive victory in the lower house last month. And this is extraordinarily important. And I think the most important thing to recognize is that that victory came with the voice of young people. Because the sweep last month was a remarkable victory of young candidates who said our future is with social democracy. Terms that Americans had not heard for a long time, but they're hearing now and they're voting for. I am proud that our new Congresswoman, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, watch her. She's amazing, because she's inspiring the country, and she's getting some of the conservatives in the Democratic Party to open up their eyes also. The comfort level is over. The struggle is on. And I'm very happy, for example, that the Democratic Party leader in the Senate, Chuck Schumer, wrote to President Trump a couple of days ago and said, don't even think about talking about infrastructure if we're not talking about climate change and sustainable infrastructure. We're not going to build the infrastructure of the 19th century, which our president somehow craves because that's the century he knows. We're going to build the infrastructure of the 21st century, and we have to do it. And Europe, you have the lead. Take it, assert it. You have the wonderful Secretary General of the United Nations, Antonio Guterres, your friend. Your leader. He needs our help, I can tell you. He needs our help from all parts of the world. There are a lot of nasty forces in play right now. And there are the strong men, they are men, and they are nasty, and they are dangerous. And there are the incredible forces of nature which are creating havoc all over the world. And there is the destruction of war. And remember, as you grapple with the problems of migration here and the challenges and the politics of that, where did these refugees come from? They came from American wars of regime change. Have no doubt about it. If you want to stop the refugee crises, stop the wars. This is the most important point. It's not the agony. Should we be nice? Should we not be nice? People want to live in their homes, but not when they're being bombed, not when the CIA is trying to overthrow regimes, not when NATO is going in to bomb, whether it's the Libyan government or the U.S. trying to overthrow the Syrian government. We have to stop the wars, and then people can live in peace, and then they can build something together. And that's what social democracy is about. And so we really need a strong social democracy in Europe, and I promise, when next year you're going to inspire us in 2020, we're going to reciprocate so that we have a social democratic North Atlantic again, not what we have right now, which is the spread of craziness, which has to stop. I apologize, the craziness clearly started in my country. It is a little bit out of control, but we do have a special prosecutor also. We're winning elections, and the truth is becoming understood. We have to fight for the future because we're at the last stage before utter climate disaster. You cannot start the fight against climate change by cutting wealth taxes, Mr. Macron. You can't do that, because then when you go to turn to the people, they don't accept it. And also, everywhere I travel in Europe with the right-wing governments, we're so scared to collect taxes from these companies. Are you kidding? Mr. Bezos woke up this morning with $140 billion in his personal account. His personal account. No normal society in the world would ever have anything like this. There are 2,200 billionaires in the world with $10 trillion of wealth. Come on! They could solve these problems. This is not normal. We should be raising wealth taxes on the rich because we need the money that has flowed to the top to solve the problems of our society. That's what social democracy is. That's what the Sustainable Development Goals are. And especially, we need in the next Commission truly investment-led growth for Europe that is sustainable investment-led growth. I know that you want to lead that exactly. That has been your call all along. Europe should be the core of the technologies. Europe has been in the lead rhetorically, but be in the lead in practice. And then all the countries that are wondering in Central and Eastern Europe, I know them well, I advised them 25 years ago on how to join Europe. That was the most desperate thing in their mind. They want to see that this is a growing, dynamic future. And there is only one answer to that, and that is sustainable investment-led growth that is fair and inclusive, and where the corporations are kept under control for the purpose of the common good, and where the super rich know they don't get away with it, they don't run society, they pay their taxes, they pay their due, and we can get on with the common good together. Thank you to all of you. Please win. Thank you.